Oh, that guy. I'm going out the back for a second. That guy that left that comment I told you about.
Yeah.
I looked up the word, and he's just screwing with me.
No.
He said, I looked it up. It said about, a past experience and stuff can bring it on and stuff. It's an irrational fear of chickens. He's just screwing with me. The hell. In a way, I mean, I don't know. He's funny, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave him. Why not? So, you got me. I was planning on. Before looking up the word, I thought it was like a form of type of anxiety that brings on from a past experience, and that's possibly why I got the health anxiety and stuff. There it goes. Shoot, I keep forgetting to. I'm gonna take this out right now while I'm talking, which is what I was going to make this video on, which I am, but I decided to look it up to see exactly what it was, and it was an irrational fear of chickens. So, good job, you trolled me. But that doesn't mean that I can't talk about what I was planning on talking about. It's kind of like PTSD, but probably not as bad. But it doesn't mean it was any less scary. The first year we were here, actually the first couple of months, there was a thing that did happen that probably did cause a lot of my anxiety, since I didn't have this bad until we got into Florida. So anyway, there was a guy that woke us up in the middle of the night. Well, it wasn't really it was the middle of our night, but it was probably 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, I'm not sure, but I know that it just started. It was light, but not like fully light out, so it was definitely really early in the morning. The guy is slamming on my parents' back door over here. Actually, I'm just gonna walk over here. I don't know why I'm pointing. There goes Betty. He's slamming on my parents' back door, and they wake up. Well, she wakes up. My mom does, and the guy is screaming, "Get the f out here! I'm gonna kill you!" A whole bunch of shit. So my mom's screaming back at him, "Go away, what do you want?" Stuff like that, which wakes up my stepdad. He doesn't know what's going on. Wakes me up. I'm the last one to be woken up by the screaming and stuff. The guy's still screaming that he's gonna kill us and all this shit. So we all start getting up. My stepdad grabs the bat, I think, or the knife, because I know he has a lot of knives. I think so. I can't remember now. It's been a while. It's been 3 years now. This is the 4th year we've been here. So it's been like, it was very, very close to since we got here. Anyway, we all come out here. We're looking out the windows and stuff. I don't remember what my mom was doing. I don't know if she was actually looking out windows too, or if she was just seeing what we were saying. But we were seeing the guy. He's like running back and forth throughout here, so you could definitely tell he was on something. And he's running back and forth and shit. And he, at one point, this is actually why our door screen is kind of broken here. He breaks this through, and he's like trying to come in. So by that time, that's when my stepdad told my mom to call 911. So we call 911. Apparently we weren't the first to call 911. While waiting for the cops, we're still looking out the window. Since there's no window here, I was just looking out the side window, and I could see him jumping, coming back and forth the fence, like he was just going up and down and up and down across the fence, going over to their house and slamming on their door, running back over here and throwing himself on the ground, because I was also looking out the back door, and he's just throwing himself on the ground and throwing himself on the ground and then running back over there. And eventually he stopped over there, and he just throws himself on the ground somewhere around those trees. And that's when the police got here. And they picked him up and stuff. And then of course they got to investigate and what the hell happened. He was definitely on drugs. No idea what. I mean, obviously the police can't tell you. Not that they would know until he got to the hospital anyway. But anyway, we find out about an hour or two later that he was actually shot at some point. So they ask us, like, do we know anything and stuff. We didn't hear shit. I don't know like how far away he was when it happened. I don't know if our walls are thick or if we're just really heavy sleepers, but he was apparently shot before he came over here. But somehow he was still able to jump the fences like nothing freaking happened. So he was definitely high on some type of drugs where he couldn't feel shit. And my guess is it was probably a fellow drug dealer or something, or a drug deal gone wrong or whatever the hell. And he thought that we were the drug dealer that he was having a problem with or some shit. I have no idea, because we have never seen him before. No idea who he was or which trailer he lived in or what. But he somehow got it into his head that because he was knocking on several other trailers. We found that out too. That's why he was also knocking on their trailer. That's the only trailer I seen him knocking on. But he was knocking on the other ones. That's why we weren't the first ones to call 911. But he kept getting in his head that whoever's door he was knocking on was the person he had a problem with. So he kept telling everybody he was going to kill him, to come out, and he's going to kill him and shit. And yeah, ever since then, that's probably where my anxiety started going from normal to higher. Because even though we didn't do anything wrong, it was still very, very nerve-wracking talking about it to the cops, to the point where I actually had to sit down on the ground in order to calm down while talking to them. Or no, while waiting for them, because they were talking to my mom. After they talked to me, then they were talking to my mom, and then I was sitting down on the ground. And then when we came in, I was sitting on the floor because I was still trying to calm down, because getting woken up thinking somebody is breaking in or already broken into your house and is trying to kill you or wants to kill you, that scared the absolute shit out of me. And maybe that's why I have a problem with going to sleep at nighttime now, because I'm completely fine. I can fall asleep really, really quick when the sun is starting to come up. What are you doing? When the sun is starting to come up. But if it's pitch black outside, which is the time that I went to bed when that guy did that, and when I woke up, But I wonder if that's why, because I do sometimes have a fear that I don't know what it is. I'm just afraid to go to sleep. And this was before the chest thing happened. I'm just afraid to go to sleep at nighttime sometimes, and I'm wondering if that's probably why, because that scared the shit out of me and is now a looming shadow over us. I think mom too, probably, because, you know, her heart and stress and all that is already bad. So that probably did not help at all. And it's just a looming shadow over our entire time we've lived in Florida. Well, 4 years now, and it's just looming over us this entire time. Hopefully, maybe when we can move, it'll finally, you know, be over us, because, you know, we are still living in the same exact trailer that it happened in. And sometimes people do move after something like that because they don't want to think about it anymore and stuff. Usually after a successful break-in, not whatever that was. But yeah, there's that. And then there's also childhood stuff with my real dad. I think I told you guys about it before. I'm starting to forget certain things, so that's good. But like, for example, I remember my dad trying to go after my mom. Like, she's going to call somebody. She wasn't going to call the police. Okay, that's like a cement truck. She wasn't going to call the police, but I think she was going to call Deb, which was our friend across the street. And her back was turned away from him. I mean, towards him. She wasn't looking at him. And he's like going after her like this, like he was gonna, you know, like hit her. And I was like, Mom, look out. And she turns around and sees his fist like this, and then he puts it down and walks away. Or another time when he got pissed off at me because, like, you know, this is all when I was a kid, like before teenage years. I think I kicked a ball and it like hit something of Mom's, and it made the jingle, you know, like those wind things. She likes to hang them up inside. And I think it hit that, and it like broke a leg off or something of one of the things. And he like lifts me up like this. I don't know if he actually had my throat or just my shirt, and he lifted me all the way to the ceiling. I don't remember anything that happened after that. I don't know if it's the same day he was also grabbing his belt and I was hiding under the table and shit and trying to, you know, attack me. But there was that, and there's another time when he was coming after us with a blowtorch. Both Mom and I. He was running after us with a blowtorch. To me, I thought it was just a flamethrower because it pretty much was the same thing. It was just fire that he was blowing at us inside the house, and we run out the front door and we're just waiting there. And then when we go back in, he's completely normal again because something snapped in his head when he was like that. So yeah, I don't know what exactly was wrong with him, because like even when I was a baby, like less than a year old, he pointed a shotgun to my mom, and she didn't know if she didn't think it was loaded. She didn't think that he would point a loaded gun at her. But he's like, you don't think it's loaded? And he kicks the front door open and he shoots out there. And then my mom's like, what about the baby? And then like all of a sudden, like something just unclicked or clicked, whatever, in his head. And he just puts it back, walks away, and everything was normal again. It's very, very odd. It was definitely if split personality, pretty much. Like something just snaps in his head. He was just a hateful, angry person that wanted to destroy everything at that time. And then when he's normal, he's just normal. He's so much better now. I do not see that side of him ever anymore. Of course, now that we're in Florida, it's been 4 years since I seen him, but I still call him and stuff. Why are you doing things? So maybe that can give you guys a little insider of what I have dealt with in the past. And it could possibly explain this anxiety thing. I guess maybe it just build, because I'm not the type of person that just like explodes and has like a long ass cry, and like, you know, like goes outside and like hits a tree with something. I'm not that type of person. It just stays inside and I don't ever let it out. The worst I've ever let it out was when Mom wanted me to do dishes and I was just in a whole other thing in my head, and I would just slamming the one dish onto another. I'm like, I don't know why I did that. It just came out that way somehow. But yeah, hopefully you guys got an insider on this. Maybe it does explain why I've had so much anxiety and stress, even when it's not stressful at the time. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.